Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here aboard the brand new MSC Seashore, and we're on a 2-day cruise out to the Ocean Cay private island, and we're actually going to take a look at that in a little while. The last time I interviewed this gentleman here next to me, we were actually on the private island, and this was just before the pandemic, right, Ken?
That's exactly right. Right at the end of 2019 when the island first opened. And you're going to be very pleasantly surprised how beautiful the island has flourished over the last couple of years.
Well, we're going to talk about that and really the ship itself and more. Obviously, this is Ken Muscat. He's the Chief Operating Officer for MSC Cruises USA, and you'll find out about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Ken, first of all, it's great to be aboard a live ship with you. Finally, it's been a long time. It was right before the pandemic that we got a chance to interview, and now we're here aboard this beautiful new ship, the first ship you've launched since really the pandemic began. Let's talk a little bit about MSC Seashore. What is different, because you had MSC Seaside, which I was lucky enough to be on a few years ago when it first launched. What is different about this ship from that one? Because I understand you said like 65% of the public areas are different.
Yeah, and let me back up for just a second, because like you said, MSC Seaside came out in 2017, and that was the first real ship custom built for the North American market for warm weather cruising. It had the Miami Beach condo design, and that was really sort of our first big launch into the market in a very, very serious way. And then that followed up with MSC Meraviglia, which was a further focus on the market. So now bringing another brand new ship, MSC Seashore, just continues to show how serious we are about growing and developing in the U.S. market and with our U.S. guests. Seashore is about 65% different than Seaside. It's on the same sort of platform, but we changed a lot of things around. One of the biggest changes was we moved all the specialty restaurants from up at the top near the buffet to down on deck 8.
Yeah, it's like Restaurant Row there. Right?
We have a whole restaurant row with 5 different specialty restaurants, a lounge dedicated to, when you're waiting for your table or you want to meet some people before dinner. So that is working really, really well. We have a new sushi concept with a conveyor belt.
I saw that. I had a little testing on that. Yeah, I just kept, shoveling the sushi would come around. I get that one. They get the next one, which is, like you have on a sushi bar.
Yeah, exactly right. And also in this post-pandemic time period, it's very safe and a secured environment for you to grab your plate. So that's one of the biggest changes on the culinary side. Another big change was the aft pool. We made a beautiful, larger aft pool and a secondary lounge that we do not have on Seaside or Seaview, which is sort of a cabaret theme, multi-deck lounge on the back of the ship that allows for even further entertainment during the day and during the evening. Those are just a few examples. We also have the largest yacht club at sea.
Yeah, four decks, right?
4 decks in the yacht club, 131 staterooms. Two of the owner suites are over 1,000 square feet large. We have the largest kids area on this ship out of any of the ships in the MSC fleet. 140,000 square feet of outdoor space, which again in this environment not only is perfect for warm weather, but important for people that want to continue social distancing and having outdoor activities. So there's a lot of differences. Same kind of quality and design and feel, but a lot of different unique things that we've learned. You always learn from previous ships, and this one we had enough time to make some significant changes to, and she's beautiful. I think one of the nicest ships out at sea today.
Absolutely, and I've always thought MSC builds beautiful ships, and you keep getting better, and you got more to come, which is we'll talk about in a second. But now, personally, what is your favorite thing on this ship, or favorite things?
I think one of my favorite things really is that aft infinity pool, because when you're out there, you're so close to the ocean, reminds you you're on a cruise. Beautiful views. Then you look up 72 feet above you is the Bridge of Sighs, and the whole, the whole unique design of the ship that you see. Great photo ops, and it's just a peaceful, really nice area.
No, it is gorgeous, that whole area. Now, this ship has, ironically, a New York theme, right? It's throughout. There's a Statue of Liberty in the middle of one of the atriums. All the restaurants are named after New York themes. I mean, the only one that isn't is that sort of cabaret, which is interesting, which you could find in New York. Yeah. What was the reason for choosing a New York theme?
I think a couple of reasons. I mean, number one, we knew that the ship was going to be based in the U.S., and it's, always nice to resonate with U.S. passengers on something familiar like that. Everybody loves New York, but even more importantly, MSC Cruises is a very international brand. We're very focused on bringing cultures from all over the world and nationalities from all over the world to sail on our ships all over the world, whether it's in the Caribbean or anywhere else. And everybody loves New York, and everybody knows New York. So whether you're, a U.S.-based a customer, or whether you're coming from another country to sail on MSC Cruises, it shows that we bring together culinary, arts, fashion, all those things that New York is known for can resonate on this ship. And everybody understands it. So that's one of the key reasons.
Now, any truth to the rumor? People say, well, if this has a New York theme, why would this ship be based out of New York someday?
Yeah, well, we might be warming up the market a little bit for some longer-term planning out of New York. Maybe this ship, maybe another ship, but we're always looking at new home ports. Obviously, as you know, we started at Port Canaveral this year, so now we're out of Port Canaveral in Miami, and definitely we will be expanding to new home ports throughout the U.S., and New York could potentially be one of them.
Yeah, well, you've done more expansion in ports here, but also internationally. You're all over the place. I mean, you're in Dubai. You're going to be in Saudi Arabia. South America. I mean, everywhere, right?
Oh yeah, we go to over 200 destinations around the world. We cover 5 continents. We're everywhere. The brand has grown. We've more than doubled the brand in 9 years. We're going to have 23 ships by 2025. So obviously, as you bring on more capacity, you start looking for more places to go. So we're able to cover all over the world.
That's amazing, and I've gotten a lot of the releases and been very surprised and pleased to hear that you're going to be basing the ships in different parts of the world, and now you're going to be at least 2 ports in the U.S. with probably more to come. Now let's talk a little bit about, for our travel advisors out here, what are the why is selling MSC today such an attractive option for travel advisors in your view? And you expressed this during a conference with them yesterday. What are the main programs you have to support the trade?
Well, I think to answer your first question, MSC Cruises now is the fastest growing cruise line and the 3rd largest cruise brand in the world. We are doing incredible efforts on a marketing side, both for trade and consumers, for people to ask about MSC Cruises. So travel agents, travel advisors are going to see more and more people coming in asking for MSC Cruises because they're starting to see us all over the place. And we've obviously expanded tremendously over the last few years in this market. So it's a great opportunity for travel advisors to offer something different, offer something new. They're always looking for more options and making sure that they're aligning the right ship and right destination with the right customer. So that's number one. The other thing is we have great tools. We have ability for travel partners to come on board and experience the product once they sell 10 more staterooms, and we'll reimburse them for the cost of their cruise, so it's virtually for free. We've got seminars at sea, we've got fam trips, we've got inaugurals like this where we bring a couple thousand travel agents, travel advisors on board. MSC Book is the #1 key place for travel advisors to go to learn
your online everything about MSC, and also Book, right?
Yeah, Book, learn everything. We just relaunched our new online training program, MSC Masters, a couple of weeks ago. So, all of those things can be found on MSC Book, and there's just countless reasons for travel advisors to sell the brand. Because of the size, because of the scope, it offers something different, and we're seeing more and more consumers come back and repeatedly ask for MSC Cruises. Our NPS scores, our guest satisfaction scores right now are through the roof, and people are coming back. So you want to be able to be educated on MSC and where we go, so you can keep the clients repeating with us.
Now, these days, who do you view as your main competition right now? Where do you sit? Because ships today, we used to sort of silo them into contemporary, premium, and luxury. But, everyone's now all over the map. But who, in your view, is kind of your chief competition?
Yeah, and to your point, this is a perfect example. Most of our ships have the MSC Yacht Club. So there you've got a very high-end, more luxurious,
4 decks, which is quite a lot of people.
4 decks and 24/7 butler service. And then you've got more of the larger ship, contemporary kind of feel, with the rest of the ship. I don't want to say identify any competition in the cruise industry, because I think we're all unique, and that's something that the cruise industry does very well. We're all unique in our way, whether it's where we go, our private destinations, the design of our ships. I think more of our competition really continues to be hotels and land-based, and nowadays people are renting RVs and campers and traveling around to national parks because of just slowly getting out of the pandemic time period. So that's where we're really competing for dollars.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we're doing more 3 and 4 night cruises and going to the private destination to show people a ship like this with all the outdoor space, to show that you can do that on a cruise. Those are the dollars we're competing for today.
So you're competing for in the travel industry at large, not necessarily specific cruise lines. Exactly. I understand that. Now, your sister company, which just launched a luxury Explorer Journeys, and with Chris Austin, who gave a good presentation. You allowed him a little time yesterday. Yeah. They've introduced some very innovative programs for travel advisors, such as kind of rolling commissions, no NCFs, things like that. Do you think that at some point MSC Cruises itself will look at that?
Yeah, we're always looking at those kinds of things. Actually, just a couple hours ago, we had our travel agent advisory board meeting, and we talked about some of these things. They're always up for consideration. We got to do the economics. We got to understand what works, what's really going to drive the business, what's best for the travel advisors, what's best for us. One of the nice things now about having a sister brand is they get to do these kinds of things, and we get to talk about what the feedback is and what's working and what's not, and we can share in some of that stuff. So we haven't made any decisions, but we'll definitely continue to evaluate it and speak to our sister brand about what they're seeing, and maybe look at those opportunities in the future.
No, absolutely, and I think it's a place for experimentation, see what happens. But of course, during the pandemic, the idea of rolling commissions came out, and a lot of people liked that idea because clearly when cruising stopped, travel advisors were kind of caught, and they didn't have income for almost 20 months. So yeah. They're finally getting some. But it's going to take a while still. And then, of course, next year looks really good, but we have to get there, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, we need to maintain a very healthy distribution, and we know with that comes being able to be compensated as quickly and as early as possible. We do want people that are booking farther out, but we also know that you need to start seeing the dollars sooner. So it's definitely something that we need to consider to make sure that the distribution remains very healthy for us.
Now, let's talk about another topic. It's increasing your brand awareness in the U.S. You've done a great job, I think, with most travel advisors. They know who you are. But if you ask a lot of the people who haven't experienced you, consumers, and you've done some marvelous commercials, so I still don't quite figure out why that hasn't happened, but you're still kind of lagging on that side. But I understand that there's more to come on that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think you hit it. We've done some marvelous commercials, but you need to see it more. Right. And to see it more, you need money. And the good news is that the company is significantly investing in marketing going forward. We have for the last half of 2021, and a significant investment continues into 2022 to make sure not only we continue with those great TV commercials, but that you're seeing them nationwide as often as possible. We've highlighted certain DMAs that we know our guests are going to be coming from, and that's going to be, we're going to be slamming them with TV commercials nonstop, also radio, also outdoor, making sure all of the marketing is integrated, digital and offline. So that's key in raising brand awareness. And that's going to get the brand awareness with the consumer, who then is going to come in and ask for MSC Cruises with their travel advisor. So the investment and the money is what it takes. And we're definitely getting that.
It's great, because it's great when travel advisors can suggest this, but it would be better if consumers saying, "Yeah, I want that cruise."
Exactly.
And that's what, and they're hit with so much advertising and messaging all the time, but it would be great if they can walk in and say, "I want that MSC cruise," right?
Absolutely, that's the goal, 100%. And I think just having our consistent, growing presence here in the States, it takes years for this kind of thing, but having the consistent growth in the U.S. People seeing our ships, seeing our TV commercials, we're seeing it now. Definitely more and more people, more repeat, and more people coming in asking for MSC Cruises.
Now, anything else you want to tell our 95,000 travel advisors out there about this ship and what's to come? Actually, there is a surprise, right? That what's to come, right?
Yeah, there is a surprise. The first thing I'll say is today we're in Ocean Key, and I know you're going to go experience the island, and Ocean Key is part of all of our itineraries, and it is a significant differentiator for our brand. It's not just any private destination. It's a beautiful private destination that takes a lot of focus on environment and marine fixing up the marine environment.
You have a new center. In fact, today you're opening up a new marine conservation center.
We're doing the groundbreaking for a marine conservation center in partnership with University of Miami and Nova Southeastern. We're looking at how to build super coral to make sure that we're keeping coral alive and taking learnings that we learn here in Ocean Key and starting to share them with destinations all over the world. So there's that whole other part of it, which is incredible. So that's number one. And we're here all day. We're here at night, and it's a great experience for
I was there when we were here together the last time. We were incredible fireworks and sound and light show around the lighthouse, which is a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And then the other surprise that you were alluding to, which we just announced about an hour ago, is that the sister ship of MSC Seashore, which is called MSC Seascape, which comes out a year from now, is going to be coming and doing her inaugural season in Miami. So we've got yet another new ship coming to the market.
So how many will that make?
Well, that'll make four. That'll make four in the market on alternating, summer, winter itineraries. Port Canaveral, Miami, short, long. But it continues to be our focus on bringing the newest and the biggest to this market, and then the continued focus on Ocean Key. And we're also doing the groundbreaking for our new Miami terminal, which is going to be able to hold 3 ships by the end of 2023. $450 million investment in the largest terminal in Port Miami. So if we haven't made it serious, known how serious we are in being a major competitor in this industry and in this market, now is the time that we are doing that.
So you're finally getting serious, right?
We've been serious, but now we're really getting serious.
Now, where can travel agents go to find out more about MSC and also kind of look at your programs and things like that? Sure.
So definitely online at mscbook.com. You got everything you need there. All the webinars, all the training materials, all the marketing materials, all the booking tools. And then, of course, contact your BDM. We've got a great sales team out there. They're willing to help every possible way. And I really recommend that people reach out to them.
Ken, it's great to be on board with you. It seems so long ago that we were standing out on your beautiful private island here, Ocean Cay, and we did a wonderful interview there out in the sunlight. It's a little overcast today, but it's going to come. The sun's going to go through, and we're going to have the christening ceremony for this ship, which I believe Sophia Loren is coming out for, if I recall. Which she is the permanent godmother. Which is I don't want to tell you how many times I've seen Sophia do this task. Yeah. She does it wonderfully, and it's great to see you here.
Thank you so much. We're very excited to introduce this ship to everybody, and great having you on board.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.